Good evening, everyone. I call to order the regular council meeting of the Victoria City Council for Monday, August 24th at a late start, 6:50. First order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, without objection, Council, I'm going to waive reading of the providing public comment. Any objections?
No objection.
Okay, first we're going to do some quick announcements. Last month we kicked off our 2021 budget discussion. City Council will adopt its maximum tax levy for 2021 on September 14th at 6:30 p.m. A budget workshop to discuss the city's enterprise funds is scheduled for October 26th at 5 p.m. and a budget workshop to discuss the city's capital funds and five-year capital improvement plan is scheduled for November 9th at 5 p.m. The city's Truth in Taxation hearing is scheduled for December 14th at 5:30, and council will consider adopting the city's 2021 budget and five-year CIP after their hearing has been held. Budget workshops and meetings are held at City Hall and in the council chambers. The public's invited to attend and provide input. Residents may also submit feedback on the budget via email to the city clerk or city manager. Additionally, there is a council workshop scheduled for September 14th at 5 p.m. to discuss the long-term plan for utility underground and the creation of a potential public parking site for downtown at Salter Park. As always, all meetings of the city council take place in the council chambers unless otherwise noted. Public's invited to attend. Everybody knows because of COVID, we've got the distancing and people are required to wear masks per the governor's executive order. While we look forward to seeing everyone at our meetings, we encourage anyone wanting to attend a council meeting or workshop in person to register in advance with our city clerk. And Dana, any other announcements?
None from staff, Mayor.
Okay, at this point, I've got two people that are here to speak on the both stop sign? No? Okay. We'll go ahead and do the open forum right now. First up, I have Matt Brownlee. Did I pronounce that right? Yeah. Matt, if you would, please. Whatever is easiest. It's probably easier to take it off so we can hear you.
Well, hello everyone. I've never been to a city council meeting, so it's interesting to be here and see everything you do. And
just one thing, name and address for the record in the mic.
I'm Matt Brownlee. I live at 9370 Red Oak Drive. Thank you for the help. And thank you for all of you serving our city. I just wanted to come because we live in a pretty new development by Lennar, and over the past few months there's been new roads built and a lot more people moving out west of us, and we live right on the corner of Red Oak and Hackamore, and we've been noticing with the increased traffic there's a lot of drivers that go pretty fast, and it's actually the reason why I started the petition and asked our neighbors what they thought, because we've noticed it's actually pretty dangerous, and we've noticed a couple close calls from some of the young kids who live in our neighborhood. I think out of our 40 houses, I think there's almost 100 pretty young kids, like elementary age, right where we live, and they love to go around in circles around our street on their bikes and scooters, and we just, based on everything I've been witnessing, I think it would be very smart to install a three-way stop at our intersection right there, and I've talked to our neighbors who live on each corner, and they both are in full support, and I've got a lot of positive messages from everyone else who I've sent the petition to, and all of them have said that we really need to do that too. And thanks, Kara for all her help helping me figure out how to go through the process. And I know officially there's codes out there, and I was looking at some of those, and I just wanted to point out a couple of things just in case that's really an important part of the deal. I noticed the school there's one part that said if the school's 1,000 feet away, that's an important factor. And I looked on the GPS, and the school building itself is about 1,400 feet away, so it's pretty close. And if you look at the property of the school, I don't know what counts, but that's only like 700 feet away if you draw a straight line. And the grade on the official report, I double checked with, on this, and the grade is actually above a 5% slope on the street, and on the official report it was showing that it wasn't, but it actually is, so I wanted to clarify that. And then also there's another point on there, if it's intersecting a driveway, that's another important factor, and if you look, our neighbor Justin, the Wilds, their driveway's about 3 or 4 feet off from being aligned with the intersection, so I just wanted to call out some of those things because those are all pretty important factors that you guys seem to look at and I think support why you might want to consider having a stop sign there. And yeah, I think just on behalf of all the kids, I wanted to be here to make sure that nothing bad that we could have prevented could happen. So thank you for all your time, and if you have any questions or anything I can do to help, I'm here.
Thanks, Matt. Well,
Thank you.
I just realized that you wanted to speak when we brought up item 6.2, but that's okay.
No worries.
We'll get to that quickly here. So, thank you very much. Next up, we have Kevin Sharp. Kevin, name and address for the record, please.
Well, my name is Kevin Sharp. I'm the pastor of Westbrook Church, and we're moving in at the corner of Engler and Jonathan Carver Parkway. So I just wanted to come and let you know that we secured our financing, and we will be starting to build in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to do a groundbreaking on Saturday, September 19th at 10 a.m. in the morning. So I just wanted to come and invite you to that, and we'll get you an invitation to that a little later, but just wanted to extend an invitation for all of you to come to that.
Thank you, Kevin. And that, just to be clear, that's at the southwest corner of County Roads 10 and County Road 11, correct?
Yes, correct. Yep.
Okay.
So,
Congratulations.
yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It is. So,
right.
thank you.
Welcome. Does anybody else want to speak at the open forum? Okay. With that, let's move to adopting the final agenda. Council, can I have a motion?
Make a motion to adopt the final agenda.
Thank you. Second, please.
Second.
He got it. He was fast. The council, any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The final agenda is adopted unanimously. Next, we have the consent agenda. Council, can I get a motion, please?
I make a motion that we adopt the consent agenda.
Thank you. Second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion. Council, anybody want to pull anything? Staff? Folks in the audience, anybody want to pull anything off the consent agenda? Once, twice? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of adopting the consent agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Consent agenda is unanimously adopted, which brings us to item 6.1. Dana, is this you or Cindy?
Yes.
Go ahead, Cindy.
So this is for the Planning Commission. There was a resignation. I can't find my notes. And so we have a motion. We contacted all the people that are involved for that, and they are willing to be shifted around in those positions. So, and I invited him here, and there was nobody in attendance. So everybody has agreed to that change. I think you got the motion. What is that, the motion?
Perfect. Council, any discussion?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Does Catherine have to resign from the Lakes and Water Quality Commission in order to be an alternate?
Yes, and she did.
And that's part of, if you accept it, she will be withdrawing, she will be resigning. That's part of this
Okay.
resolution.
Anything else?
Nope, that's good.
All right. If there's no other discussion, can I get a motion?
I make a motion we accept John Brownlee's resignation from the Planning Commission and move Shane Blazer, alternate number 2, to fill out Mr. Brownlee's term, move Christian Pederson to alternate number 1, and appoint Catherine Kohler to as alternate number 2.
I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, next. Kara, this is yours. 6.2, review stop sign request.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. Compliments of Matt here. He covered my presentation, so I'm just going to highlight a couple of things. this here quickly. You've been through this process before, so you're familiar with what the policy says and such. But I did want to note that Matt is correct that I did just check the wrong box on accident. So when it comes to stop sign requests for local residential streets, we are specifically looking at warrant C. So I'm going to skip over these other warrant pieces that I look through when these requests come in. But specifically warrant C is the petition warrants for local residential streets by city administrative policy. So Matt had reached out to me actually asking about potential stop signs at 3 different locations within the Laketown neighborhood. And we provided him the petition form, and we provide a map so they don't have to try to figure out what's within 600 feet. What was a little bit interesting here is that there's a number of homes within the 600-foot area that are still owned by the builder. So we didn't include those. We netted those out of our count. And once Matt crossed the 50% threshold, he said, do I have to keep going door to door to get more? So he could have gotten more, I believe, than what he has on his sheet. But once he hit the 50%, we said that's what we would need in order to present it to the city council. So that's that first criteria. C is whether or not 50% of the property owners located within 600 feet of the intersection have signed the petition. And then under the policy, in order for it to be recommended for approval, 2 additional criteria from down below would need to be met. And Matt reached out to me today and helped me note that I marked no instead of yes under C3. So 1 or more of the streets leading to the intersection is at an approach grade of more than 5%. The road grade there is it's between 5 and 5.5%. And then the second one he was asking about was the school. And the school isn't exactly within 1,000 feet. It's technically further than 1,000 feet, so that's why I didn't check mark that. But of course, with all of these things, it's a city council decision about what you want to do here. So we've provided you with 2 different potential council actions. If I go back to the right page, to either deny the request, or option 2 would be to approve the request to install the stop signs at the requested location, and then Public Works would call and locate and get that installed.
Thank you. Council, discussion?
I took a ride out to your neighborhood early this afternoon. How many stop signs are being requested, and where exactly are they being requested?
This is the only one that a formal petition's been submitted for.
So this intersection already has a stop sign at the end of
Red Oak.
Red Oak. So are we requesting stop signs on both sides of Hackamore?
Correct.
So
So it'd
2
be an
stop
always stop.
I can see that if there was a lot of little kids running around and the traffic on Hackamore was moving, that it could get dicey.
Yes.
I'm in favor of giving them the stop signs.
Tom G?
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree, but I am kind of curious on how a year from now, as this whole everything develops, and we do get more access to Marsh Lake Road, I hope that some of that traffic is going to get diverted away from Hackamore, so people aren't using that as a shortcut. But it's a narrow street, lots of little kids. I get that. I am concerned that people aren't going to stop, that they're going to end up rolling through it. And, I guess if we slow them down, maybe that's a goal, but I think there's going to be a lot of rolling stops there.
Judy?
Yes, they probably will be rolling, but at least they'll be slowing down.
Right.
Whereas right now they're just blasting through. And I did look at the average speeds, but that was with a speed sign so that they automatically started slowing down. When you're being watched, you're more careful. And to have that many residents have the same complaint, absolutely, that they're blowing through there at faster speeds than they're supposed to. So I'm all for a stop sign there.
Thank you. Deb?
Yeah, I'm in agreement too. I think we want to protect the kids always. a little bit concerned about maybe are there other things that we can do, like slow children signs or something like that, that might also help slow that traffic down?
They're pretty fast on the bikes, though.
Can we slow the kids down? Yeah.
If the kid's under 25.
I've tried to slow kids down. That's not easy. It's easier to slow the cars down.
I did drive through that neighborhood, and there are a number of slow down signs, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
they just,
Yeah.
they don't pay attention. I know we're changing to 25 mile per hour. I don't know, are we doing a big campaign on that, or?
That-
Councilmember Black, Mayor, members of the council. We've not done a big campaign on that, but all the signs that met that criteria have been changed out. So I think for those who are in the neighborhoods, we know that they are
There-
noticing that.
There are signs in the neighborhoods.
Yeah, I just saw them, they put them
You
up.
see some in Deer Run?
Yep, they're there. But I think we should probably do some sort of campaign.
We can certainly do that if there's council consensus to do that.
Right, but
I
that,
realize it's not politically correct to lower the speed limits, but I think we could take the heat and say we did it, and
hey, folks, if we want to get into this discussion, this is not on the agenda, so I don't have a problem discussing it, but we should put it on the agenda so the public knows, so that we can talk about it.
So Mayor, Councilmember.
We've already done
it. September 14th or 28th, well, in September, we are bringing back, I think it's the 28th, we're bringing back the policy discussion to talk about just that. Right now, under the new legislation, which changed in 2019, council has the authority to sign streets that are local and residential neighborhoods that meet very specific criteria, 25 miles per hour, without adopting criteria or doing a study and evaluation. Beyond that, council doesn't have the authority by law, state statute, to sign things differently without going through a study or going through your adopted criteria. And that's what we're going to be bringing to you for discussion, some criteria and a policy discussion. So when these types of issues come up, we can either strategically look at all our roads, or similar to the stop sign request process, however you direct us to do that, to come back and apply whatever criteria, do the study just like our city engineer has done with the stop sign request, and make determinations. Now,
But for the public's knowledge, when are we going to be talking about that? What meeting is that? Is it the 28th?
September 28th.
Okay, so this topic will come back, and we'll get into the details about promoting it and signs.
About speed.
About the 25 mile an hour, right?
The next one
Yes.
about
Oh.
speed.
but the speed signs are up, and we made a decision a long time ago to put them up.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean,
I love the stop signs.
Right, so back to the stop signs. I didn't hear any objection to the stop signs. Is that correct, Council?
none.
I will make a motion to approve the request to install stop signs at the requested location.
Second the motion.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Mayor, if I may.
Yep.
So, as has been pointed out by staff, this is one of those policies that you have that is truly your policy. This is not imposed on you by the state. And so it's a policy that you can modify, or you can ignore, you can waive. I guess I would encourage you not to do that, and I think you don't have to do that here. I think you can conclude that 3 of the warrants are met and that you're complying with your policy. Let me first say why I would like you to do that. First of all, as Kara points out, you don't want to ignore this policy and simply put stop signs out wherever people ask for them, because that's not good for public safety. People will ignore the stop signs more, frankly, than they do if you do that. But legally, there's also a reason, and that is that you have this policy in place and you try to comply with this policy, because when you do that, you will have immunity from liability for accidents that happen at an uncontrolled intersection. So it's important legally that we stick with the policy, and so I think you can do that here. I think you can conclude that the warrant that isn't marked off in the staff report about a school being located within 1,000 feet,
And the
obviously
5%.
there's a bit of discretion there about how you measure that. So I would prefer that you conclude that the school is sufficiently close, that that warrant is met, and that you have 3 indices that you should have a stop sign here, and thus you're complying with the policy by putting the stop signs out. So if I could ask if that's okay with the maker to add that concept to the motion, that would be useful.
So, do you agree on a friendly amendment per the
do.
attorney?
Within the policy.
I do, that it meets the policy, that the school isn't within a reasonable distance from that intersection, and the policy is met, and that we approve the request to install stop signs at the requested location.
Thank you. Who seconded the original motion? Do you approve the friendly amendment?
Certainly.
All right. Any further discussion, council? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion and the amendment to that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? It is approved unanimously. You got your stop signs. Bob, that covers us legally? Okay, perfect. With that, roundtable. Council, any roundtable items?
None.
Hearing none. Reports, Deb? Oh, did you have something?
No,
sorry.
I forgot to put my mask on.
Reports, Deb?
Nothing from me, Mayor.
Judy?
I'm good.
Tom G? Tom V?
Good.
The only thing I would mention is the entire council got the email that I added to the agenda. If people are interested, it's included in the packet for you to review. That's all I have. Council, anything else? With that, motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. We are adjourned.